50-50 conversations are never going to land well with modern women because why the fuck would we pay to adopt a grown-ass child?
What are some things of how to communicate that has helped you? First of all, I read this book called Thoughts of a Superior Man. Have you read that? Oh my God. Damn, I shouldn't have said that out loud. I should have texted to you. That's the cheat code. That motherfucker, like the first chapter was like, yo, you want to argue? Don't even argue. Just give her a hug. I was like, what? Just give her a hug? Let me try this out. I was like, I was like, maybe you know what? I'm sorry. Boom. It was like, but for real though, it was a real thing. I was like, oh, okay, cool. Read another chapter. It was like, oh, okay, you're lashing out because you haven't dealt with the 5-year-old self of you. So you're lashing out because you're still that little 5-year-old haven't healed.
You had to read a literal book to know how to deal with conflict resolution. You literally had to pick up a book to understand the inner workings of your internal and your subconscious to realize that things in your past, this trauma that men claim that they are so above, that they are untouchable to be able to have, is actually impacting their life as a fucking adult. There is not a body warm enough. There is not a bank account big enough. There is not a ding-a-ling big enough to ever make me want to sign up for the labor to teach a grown-ass man how to do regular normal things such as have empathy and understand how to communicate and practice conflict resolution. I am not going to stress myself out having a man in my life just to say that I fucking have a man. And it is so crazy how we still live in a society where women embrace this as being fucking normal. Like, you'll literally have a group of women who are either married or in a relationship, and they'll be like, like, yeah, I'm just trying to teach my husband basic empathy. Like, I'm just trying to get him to understand that, I'm in pain. Oh yeah, my husband does that too. He doesn't understand postpartum depression, and he doesn't believe me when I say that I'm in pain, or when I'm unhappy, or when I'm unsatisfied with something. And it's like, we've gotten to a point where like women think that it's normal. Women actually think that that shit is normal. We have literally been taught to normalize and embrace the fact that essentially you being in a relationship with a man is just you being in a relationship with a fucking child that actually is just big in age. It gets to a point where it's like, I cannot believe that men are actually having conversations as adults as if learning how to communicate is some newfound thing. I mean, how can you possibly be attracted to these species still when you can just clearly see how regressive they are? When you literally can just see how low level in thinking they are, how low level in emotional intellect they are, how low level they are in just regular intellect. I mean, how are these men able to turn you on? Like, I'm honestly starting to think that for most women that are attracted to men and that want to be in these heterosexual relationships, like, you cannot be at a profound level of actually gaining awareness of the reality and looking at men for who they are. Because why would you ever want to sign up to deal with a man that is just now making these revelations? Like, that man is probably in his 30s to 40s, and you mean to tell me that you're just now figuring out how to communicate? And then Cam Newton of all people is over here like, wow. And you can tell he doesn't even give a fuck. You can tell that he doesn't give a fuck. He's not going to go pick up that book. He isn't interested in any other aspects of these books because in his mind, what is working for him is working for him. And technically it is working for him because he has Jasmine still giving him babies, still eating his booty, still doing all these things, and still seeing him as a prize. So in his head, he's like, I don't need to do that fucking shit. And this is why even when men are trying to uplift other men, as long as it's working for them, yeah, it's working for them because women are still allowing men to do this shit. And making it seem as if, oh, they should embrace the fact that they are dealing with a grown-ass man who is acting like a child. And you're essentially having to bear the burden of having to teach a man do this while your needs are not getting met. I'm sorry, this is a rant more than anything, but the audacity of men to get on a podcast and even like make it seem as if they're exchanging some new profound information, like, and then they say that they say that they're great leaders, they're providers and protectors, but they do not know the basic natural understanding of how it is that you are supposed to deal with other people, how you're supposed to deal with other humans. I can't.